Well, we've had some rain today. First rain we've had for a long time. Several weeks. At least down here in Devon anyway. But I think we desperately needed it, that's for sure. And personally, I think it's good that we've had some rain. Because the river was looking really low. And everything, the greens have really just absolutely popped today. So I've come out to some woods and I'm going to see what photographs I can get today. Midges, covered in them already. Right, I am getting eaten alive here by midges. I've put my hat on, I've got my hoodie on, but they're just all over my face, in my eyes, everywhere. It's driving me mad. Right, I'm using the Canon 5D Mark II today with the Tamron 24-70 lens. I've also brought out with me this lens, which is the Tamron 70-300, as opposed to my Canon 70-200. So I'm just doing this today for one of my keen followers. His name is Anthony. Hi, Anthony. Who's just bought a Canon 5D Mark II. He's been using a Mark I, but he's upgraded to a Mark II. So I just thought I'd do a video using this camera with these lenses, and I don't think he's got this lens, but I'll definitely recommend it. It's you pick it up cheaper than the Canon equivalent, and it's a very good lens. So anyway, let's get on with it before I get eaten alive by these midges. Okay, so my first composition of today is, I'm going to record it with my phone. So there it is. It's the tree with the river running through the center of the frame, and then the bridge to the left. And I think it looks pretty good. So I'm going to do this as quickly as I can because this is driving me nuts. So let's have a look at settings here. So I've got 2.5 seconds, f11, ISO 50. Midges are driving me mad. They're all over my camera. They're everywhere. I've focused in on the far side of the bank. I think at f11 that should get everything in focus. So let's just check my focus. Make sure we're absolutely bang on. Yep, that's looking okay. This is so unpleasant when you get all these midges, it really is. Right, so I'm happy with all of that. So I'm going to take the shot. And there we go. Okay, so if I turn my tripod around now and face that way, there's a beautiful tree there with some rocks and ferns in the foreground leading into it, and then directly to the right down in the base of the frame on the left of it, there's a nice little stile there, which adds a nice little bit of interest to the composition. So I'm going to whip my tripod around facing that way. Right, so I'm focusing on the tree. I've got a polarizer on, which I forgot to mention when I was doing that shot. I've got the polarizer on. So I'm going to underexpose the shot. Maybe just come back a little bit. Get a little bit more in the frame. Maybe not. Actually, I think this photograph is going to work better in this kind of portrait mode. Let's just level that up. Check my focus again. Now, the thing about these Tamron lenses is the zoom ring and the focus ring are opposite to what they are on a Canon lens. Right, that looks okay. So underexpose. Take that glare off with the polarizer. So 2-second timer. There we go. It's done. Right, I really got to move on now because this is driving me nuts. Right, I'm just walking up this path here, and I noticed this tree on the left hand side. Look how magnificent that, I think it's an oak tree. It might not be though, because I don't know anything about trees. Looks like an oak tree. It's a big tree, it's a big old tree. Look at that, look how big it is. It's old as well. But it's really, so it looks really gnarly and ancient and like a proper living thing, you know, the way it twists, and yeah, I love it. So I'm going to set up here on top of this wall and I'm going to get a shot of that. Right, I've been here about 5 minutes setting up, and already the midges are gathering again. So I'm going to hurry up with this. Oh man. This is just horrendous. Right, so I've got the polarizer on again. I'm focusing straight on the center of the tree. I've centered the tree in the frame. I've got the wall leading in to the tree. That's really all there is to say about this composition. Settings are 1/6 of a second, f11. By the way, for those of you that watch me regularly, it's extremely rare that I shoot anything above ISO 50 when I'm doing landscapes. So ISO 50. My battery's about to die. So I'm going to take this shot. Just check my focus. Yep, focus is good. Done.
Look at this, look. Some dirty, filthy scumbags have come here, had a fire in this dry weather, and left all this litter behind. Absolute scum, whoever did that.
So I found this beautiful composition here, right down on the river, on the edge of the river. Look, I'm literally standing inches away from the edge of the river. So I've got to watch my footing because all of these rocks are covered in moss, so I could slip and be in the water any minute. So I've got my camera down really low. And the river sort of winding through with these beautiful cascades, the ferns, the rocks, everything about it looks great. So I'm at half a second, f11, ISO 50, polarizer on, 2-second timer. So let's take this shot. Okay, so a quick tip or hack for anybody that's a 5D Mark II user. So to set up your live view for stills only, so that you can have exposure simulation. Now by exposure simulation, what I mean is, sorry, if you switch on your live view and that button's there, now you can, when you change your shutter speed, it will give you a simulation of what your exposure looks like. Now the way that you do that, you have to go into the menu, and on the second tools icon, which is like that little yellow spanner there, right at the bottom you've got live view movie function settings. So you press your middle button on the scroll wheel there. So where it says live view function settings, you need it set to stills only. Okay. And you need the exposure simulation on. Sorry, I've done that wrong. Stills only, and the exposure simulation needs to be on. Okay. There we go, exposure simulation. So what that means now then is that wherever you set your shutter speed, it will show you on the back of the camera what your exposure is going to look like. So as I'm walking down this path behind me, you can see behind me there, I've come across this beautiful composition here. So I've got a tree leaning over the frame, and then a tree leaning away, and then an upright tree with the path leading through the middle of the composition. So I'm at f11, ISO 50, half a second, focused on the upright tree, 2-second timer, and there we go. And I'm covered in midges again. I'm going to end there, end the video there. Thank you very much for joining me. Look at the sky, look. Clouds. Haven't seen those for a long time. Anyway, thank you all for joining me. I hope you enjoyed my little excursion this morning. I hope you liked the images that I took. I hope the tips were useful. And I hope that I see you again in my next video. So everybody take care for now, and I'll see you soon.